Now at 5, Head Start funding faces risk of closure as the government shutdown continues. Plus, a local recycling center shuts down due to rising cost.
The largest union representing federal workers calls on Congress to end the shutdown, putting pressure on lawmakers. I'm Olivia Rinaldi on Capitol Hill as millions of Americans are set to lose food assistance if the government doesn't reopen.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Southwest Missouri Head Start programs monitor shutdown effects as local government officials worry about spring funding gaps. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. The ongoing federal government shutdown is affecting Head Start programs across the country. Economic Security Corporation runs the Head Start program in Southwest Missouri. Although there is not an immediate chance of their Head Start program closing its doors, they are watching the shutdown closely. The Head Start program is funded through March of 2026. They're concerned with getting applications approved in time.
So even though my grant's due January 1st, and they usually look into it by February, it could be very close to when my grant ends, March 31st. It could really put us at risk for closing in April if they're backlogged and haven't had a chance to look at my grant.
The Economic Security Corporation is also collecting resources and items to help with a pause in SNAP benefits. With the federal government shutdown now in its 4th week, the pain is becoming real for many Americans. And while both Democrats and Republicans continue to trade blame for the stalemate, nearly 500,000 federal workers missed their first full paycheck on Friday. Now this week, thousands more are expected to not be paid. Olivia Rinaldi has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Thank you. Federal workers lined up at a food stand from World Central Kitchen in Washington, D.C. Monday to pick up donated meals after missing their first full paychecks on Friday.
It's nice to have organizations kind of step up and provide relief and support.
Humberto Lopez has been furloughed from the Department of Defense. With no end in sight, he says the shutdown has left a bad taste in his mouth.
It seems like, the guys across the hill playing games, and the rest of us are hurting.
The largest union of federal government employees released a statement Monday saying it's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today.
I think it is the breaking point, and so something has to happen and something has to give.
This week, the food assistance program known as SNAP, which more than 40 million Americans rely on, will be cut off. The Department of Agriculture stating bluntly on its website, the well has run dry.
Now the Senate is back in session, but there are no signs of a breakthrough. Democrats continue to hold out for those extensions to health care subsidies, but Republicans refuse to budge.
Republicans have shut down the government because they are unwilling to provide affordable health care to the American people.
If this was really what this is about, the Democrats would be voting to reopen the government so that we could actually engage in a serious discussion about rising health care costs.
Adding to this pressure, air traffic controllers will miss their paychecks Tuesday. The FAA says staffing shortages led to major flight delays over the weekend. Thousands more of those delays continued Monday, although some are weather-related. Olivia Rinaldi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Source tells CBS News lawmakers are considering focusing on narrower bills this week, including measures to pay air traffic controllers and/or military members. The SEK Recycling Center shuts down after tomorrow as financial pressures mount. Officials say soaring insurance costs and plummeting recycled material prices created an impossible situation. The center relies on community donations and seeks public help for reopening. The Community Foundation is also launching a November fundraising campaign to rescue the facility. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, of course, for us today, a lot of clouds across the region, but we got the rain out of here that we experienced so much of on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I wanted to look at our rain stats. Really nothing today for the month. 2.5 inches. We're still about 3 inches behind for the year, but it was good to get some rain, and we have more rain moving in. Socked in for the with the clouds for us tonight. If you are going to be out this evening, it looks fine. But showers, even a few thunderstorms, start to increase. So here's 6:30 in the morning, and then we'll have a pretty big batch roll through all morning long into the early afternoon. Then we'll jump into a little bit of a lull late in the day, and then here comes the showers once again tomorrow evening. So we're going to break this all down for you here in just a bit. All
right, thanks, Doug. Hurricane Melissa is slowly barreling toward Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 storm. It's expected to make landfall overnight. Jason Allen is in the capital, Kingston, with the latest.
Jamaicans are boarding up homes and businesses and collecting last-minute supplies and food.
Particularly, I was hoping to get some bread, but the shelves are empty.
Hurricane Melissa grew into a monster storm as it churned in the Caribbean over the weekend, headed toward Jamaica. The National Hurricane Center warns it will likely cause life-threatening flash flooding and landslides.
There is a lot of rainfall that is projected. We all have to be very, very careful and be prepared for the worst.
Melissa is expected to be the strongest storm in history to hit this island. Even these early winds, we've already seen some of the metal roofing on homes and structures start to lift and flap in the wind, and some of these areas may see as much as 3 feet of rain.
I think this one is different. I think we're definitely gonna have this one gonna impact us hard.
Hundreds of shelters are open, though most of the people we spoke with ahead of the storm said they preferred to stay at home and protect their belongings.
No, we're not going to go anywhere. Just sitting down and watch everything, make sure everything is working good.
The storm has already been deadly, moving over Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Police there are using drones to deliver supplies to people cut off by flooding. Back in Jamaica, officials warned residents there is nowhere that will escape the wrath of this hurricane. Jason Allen, CBS News, Kingston, Jamaica.
The forecast has the hurricane moving east, crossing southeastern Cuba and the Bahamas through Wednesday, missing Florida as it heads out into the Atlantic. Well, still ahead, smart timing can save you money on holiday flights this season. Travel experts reveal the best booking windows for Thanksgiving and Christmas trips. But first, music and medicine.
A surgical breakthrough mixing music with medicine. I'm Tina Kraus with how doctors helped a Parkinson's patient orchestrate a comeback right in the operating room.
Otis, why in the world are you wearing all that?
Thanks for shopping local.
Topping today's Health Watch, doctors are finding creative ways to help Parkinson's patients regain what the disease has taken away. In Britain, a musician has found her rhythm again, and it happened right in the middle of a brain surgery. CBS's Tina Kraus has her story.
Making music was at the center of Denise Bacon's life, but Parkinson's disease changed everything. The 65-year-old had to stop playing the clarinet she loved.
It was mainly because the fingers weren't pressing. I couldn't press them accurately on the holes and the keys.
Bacon thought that part of her life was over until she underwent deep brain stimulation at a London hospital. Doctors inserted 2 tiny wires into the parts of her brain that control movement. She stayed awake with her scalp and skull numb to test the results in real time, picking up her clarinet for the first time in 5 years.
So we could test her finger movements and the speed of the movements and make sure that they are no longer stiff, they can do what she wants them to do.
Bacon says she was delighted as she saw immediate improvement during the 4-hour surgery.
It's just amazing to see and feel my fingers moving better and faster and sort of flowing more.
Deep brain stimulation is not a cure for Parkinson's, and it doesn't stop symptoms from getting worse, but it gives patients more control over their movements, helping doctors fine-tune treatment that in some cases can hit all the right notes. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Impressive. New information about the healing power of music. A study published in Scientific Reports found that while listening to music cannot eliminate pain, it can reduce the perception of pain and increase pain tolerance. And research has shown that though this works with any kind of music, the strongest effect is when people listen to their favorite genre of music. And Bacon says along with her hand strength, she also is finding it a bit easier to walk, and she's looking forward to try swimming again soon. Well, the FDA has approved a new non-hormonal drug to treat hot flashes and night sweats for women in menopause. Data from clinical trials shows the drug known as ilinezantant significantly reduced the frequency and severity of hot flashes and improved sleep for women who cannot or choose not to take hormones. The drug maker says it's designed to target 2 receptors in the brain, which play a role in temperature regulation.
It makes sense that it would help with symptoms like hot flashes, and a lot of the sleep disturbances that women experience during menopause are related to temperature dysregulation as well. So for women who have breast cancer, for example, who cannot take hormone replacement therapy, this is an especially important option to have.
The drug does come with side effects, including headache, fatigue, and drowsiness. The FDA already approved another non-hormonal hot flash remedy this year called Veozza. But that option only targets 1 receptor in the brain. Well, now is the time to get your annual flu shot. The Associated Press reports pediatricians are urging people to get vaccinated after last winter saw the most flu-related child deaths in the U.S. in 15 years. October is the best month to get vaccinated as cases tend to ramp up in November. The flu shot is recommended for everyone ages 6 and older, but more than half of kids in the U.S. do not get vaccinated. And a new study confirms what many of us already knew. During cold and flu season, the germiest group is young children. Research from Children's Mercy Hospital found pre-kindergarten and elementary school students have the highest rates of virus detection and can have up to 10 respiratory viruses a year. It can be tough to prevent kids from getting sick, but doctors say hand washing and staying up to date on vaccinations are critical. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, handcrafted shoes for celebrities continue a legendary tradition.
Plus a little bit of a break from the rain, but more is rolling in. Details coming up.
Friday on KOM News at 6.
Well, definitely it turned out to be a gloomy Monday, but mainly a dry Monday after rain over the past 3 days, Sunday, Saturday, and even on Friday. But we have another storm system which is rolling in. So one system moving out, next system moving in to the northern parts of the plains, and this is going to give us a nice cool chunk of air and then also keep the rain in the forecast. So you can see it building north, South Dakota into western Nebraska and then down through parts of Colorado. So let me walk you through time as we go through the rest of the evening. Mainly dry. We're just going to have a lot of clouds. So let's stop at 6 a.m. Tuesday. Scattered showers picking up, even some embedded thunderstorms. Nothing strong, nothing severe. You don't have to worry about that. Showers, thunderstorms start to work through as we go through the morning hours. So here's by noon, so it's going to be wet all morning into the early afternoon. Then we'll start to see this taper off, especially Kansas and Oklahoma, once we get through the middle of the afternoon. Then just kind of a little bit of a lull during the evening hours. Then the backside of this system rotates in as we go through, especially late Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. And then the first half of the day on Wednesday, we're going to have showers and then we'll break out and see a little bit of sunshine once we get into the afternoon. But our temperatures really don't go anywhere over the next couple days. We mainly stay into the 50s. How much additional rain are we talking about? Heaviest this time, this past storm system, heaviest was Kansas, Oklahoma. This time, the heaviest is going to be in our far eastern counties, but I think a lot of us will pick up easily a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch, maybe a little bit more in spots. 54 to start, 55 by noon. High temp right around 60 degrees. The winds stay fairly light tomorrow until this front rolls in. So you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the wind shift to the northwest here 6 p.m. and really pick up. We're going to have gusts probably 40. 35 or 40 at times through tomorrow night. And then here's Wednesday morning. So very windy, and then the wind slowly starts to taper as we go through the day on Wednesday. Great shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam looking downtown Joplin. 60s, 50s. We hold into the 50s for tonight. And of course, we're watching Hurricane Melissa, Category 5 hurricane. Look at its track. It's kind of just looped around, hasn't really figured out where it's wanting to go. Now it's taken a north turn, and by tomorrow morning, Category 5 should make landfall on the west side of Jamaica, which pulls in the strongest winds on the right side. So that's going to be a mess for them. Then it stays a strong hurricane as it crosses Cuba and then heads out to sea. All right, so here's our next storm system. Now behind this system, we get a little bit of a lull in the pattern. We don't get a whole bunch going on, but you can see this upper level low that kind of kicks through, and we stay in this northwestern flow, meaning it stays kind of cool most of the week. 60 on Tuesday, 54 Wednesday, that's it. 37 Wednesday night, 57 on Thursday. Halloween looks good, 60, mostly sunny and back near 80 next week.
I'm digging the Halloween forecast.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
All right, thanks, Doug.
You bet.
Still ahead, planning ahead for holiday travel.
The holiday travel season is fast approaching, but many Americans are worried about the cost. I'm Michael George with what experts say is the best time to book your flights.
Dear Friday. Stand up for cancer awareness.
Topping today's Consumer Watch, there's no place like home for the holidays. The trick is getting there. As CBS's Michael George reports, fewer Americans are expected to fly this holiday season. But for those who do, there is a right time to buy that plane ticket.
If you're heading home for the holidays, you have to beat the hustle and bustle first.
I prefer to stay home and not deal with all the chaos.
This year, price pressures have some people checking their list twice. A survey from Bankrate found about 1 in 5 adults say they plan to travel by airplane or stay in a hotel or short-term rental for the upcoming holidays. That's down from 27% last year. And men, Gen Z, and parents with small children were most likely to forego flying.
It's also possible that people might be traveling differently. Like maybe they are cutting back, but they're still doing something. Maybe they're driving instead of flying or picking cheaper accommodations.
Holidays are an expensive time anyway, and it's harder when you have to add on a bigger expense for the travel.
If you are planning to pack your bags and fly, take advantage of strategic timing.
Buying early isn't necessarily the best way to save money. The airlines know this, and they price accordingly.
Akhtar Zaman is CEO of the travel search engine Skiplagged. He says the best time to book Thanksgiving travel is 3 weeks ahead of time. For Christmas, that sweet spot is 2 weeks in advance.
As time gets closer, their projections might be off, and that usually leads to price dropping.
Flexibility may also keep costs in check.
You can zig when others zag. Traveling on the holiday itself is actually a real bargain.
That could help make merry while saving money. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A California shoemaker is keeping the art of handmade footwear alive while preserving the legacy of a legendary designer. Chris Francis inherited this massive collection of wooden foot forms made by the late Pasquale di Fabrizio, known as the shoemaker to the stars. The Italian cobbler created custom footwear for Hollywood celebrities from the 1960s until his death in 2008. The collection inspired Francis to keep his own glam rock collection going, despite a few challenges. Final check of the forecast is next.
A 4-state hero.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, it's the modern parenting question. How much screen time is too much, especially for young children? We're going to tell you what the experts are now saying. And then on KOAM News at 6, the Quapaw leader behind major casino projects passes away. Plus more on the local impact of the government shutdown. And in sports, we preview the Riverton volleyball team heading to the state tournament. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Well, an unforgettable harvest dinner in Pittsburgh combines local food, live music, and charity fundraising. You're looking at a live image from the Greenway in downtown Pittsburgh. 8 restaurants crafted a multi-course menu for tonight using Pittsburgh Farmers Market ingredients for the Wesley House benefit. Now, the rustic autumn atmosphere includes craft beer, specialty cocktails, and sustainable practices. Guests will receive handmade soup bowls and enjoy an eco-friendly dining experience. And again, it all goes to the Wesley House.
Yeah, that's great.
Good project there. Final check of the forecast?
Yeah, we're going to have the clouds kind of sticking around as we go through the evening into the overnight hours. Showers get in here by morning. Persistent rain through the morning into the early afternoon, then kind of choppy the rest of the day into the evening, and the showers pick up again, especially on a Wednesday morning. Staying chilly all week.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.